Hi everyone. I'm going to be discussing today some of the conditions and situations that you might run into when having dealings with a premature child. Now I'm going to be talking about some of the psychological and physical conditions that you might run into. Um, and not every premature child is going to have these conditions. Some of them manage to fight through all their shortcomings and come out ahead with no major problem. More than likely they'll have at least one of these conditions. We're going to be talking today about conditions like ROP, premature heart valve, brain bleeds, ADD, ADHD, and Asperger's syndrome. Now I know these sound pretty severe and pretty scary, but with today's day and age and technology, they're not quite as scary as you think. So firstly, let's talk about ROP, retinopathy of prematurity. Now retinopathy of prematurity is a condition where the blood cells don't form correctly in the eye. Now, there are many stages to this setting, but the first three, which is mild, moderate, severe, can heal themselves naturally. The child can have a normal life with good vision throughout, no problems. But the remaining two levels, which is partial detached retina and fully detached retina, if those are not taken care of medically, then more than likely the child will have impaired vision, if not full blindness. So secondly, let's talk about premature heart valve. And this is a valve in the heart that should close during the last trimester. But sometimes it doesn't, especially with preemies because they're born during or before that time. This valve allows the heart to travel between the mom and the baby and back from the baby to the mom. They have to do heart surgery for this. I still remember when they called us. We were away from the hospital and we got the call and they told us our son was going to have heart surgery, and man, it just scared the daylights out of us. We jumped in the car, we raced over to the hospital, and by the time we got there, they'd already completed the surgery, and the doctor talked to us like it was nothing more than a dental cleaning. But so today's technology is way more advanced than what you really expect or think. Now, thirdly, you have brain bleeds. Now, these are probably one of the more severe situations because there's just no telling how it turns out. They don't really know. They can just tell you what the level is and go from there. With this, there's a possibility that nothing will come of it, and then there's the possibility that it could cause even a vegetative state, which is kind of scary. And according to an article in the New York Times, they've started to link brain bleed with cerebral palsy. Then we have ADD and ADHD. Secondly, we have ADD and ADHD, which most of you know what that is: attention deficit disorder, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Now, they're pretty much the same, all except that the fact is one's the inability to focus on a subject, and the second is the inability to focus and sit still on a subject. Everybody knows that. We have my son, and he's moderate ADHD, and we would sit there, and we'd go to feed him at the table, and he had a little tight table, and he would sit there and he'd take a bite, he'd run around the table, take a bite, run around the table, take a bite, run around the table. And it's kind of funny now, but later on, it's going to affect his life pretty severely. And according to an article by Nicholas Bachelard, they have actually said that premature children are 70% more likely to come out with ADD or ADHD than a full-term child. Then we have Asperger's syndrome. Now, Asperger's syndrome is part of the autism. It's on the autism spectrum, but it's on the other end of it. Now, it's not really quite like what you would think, like with autistic kids, withheld, drawn back, unemotional, things like that. They don't like, the autistic kids don't like stimulus, and with the Asperger's part of it, they have to have it, they thrive for it, they need it in order to function, to calm down, to have a normal day. Then you have, thirdly, you just need to know that it's all going to be okay. You're not alone. There's so many people out there. According to an article in the New York Times, that 12.5% of all births in the U.S. are premature births. So there's so many people out there that can help you. And then there's specialists around every quarter that there's so much technological advancements out there nowadays. According to an article by Denise Grady, they've actually increased survivability by 20% just in the last 10 years. So they've come a long way. And the last thought of the deal is that it's all going to be okay. That they a lot of them live normal, very happy lives. My son was born 1 pound 7 ounces and 13 inches long, and if you look at him today, you would never know the difference. So in closing, I hope that you took this information well, and I hope that you're not so scared about it. They have conditions just like you and me, and as long as you take care of them and do the right thing, love them, protect them, and do everything that you can, it's all going to work out, and they're going to grow up and be happy and fulfilled lives. And if you have any more questions about this situation or premature children, there's a world of books and information out there on the internet that you can get to, and even your pediatrician might have some information that she could help you out with. So I hope that this helped you clear some of the things up on the subject. So I hope you have a good day.